All right, good morning, Fly on the Wall Productions, bringing you the Aired Out podcast live on Facebook and YouTube and streamed everywhere. You get your podcasts on the web at airedoutVT.com. So excited to have Brian Gallagher with me this morning from the Vermont Mountaineers. We're going to chat with him in just a little bit. Hey, birthdays today on this Wednesday morning, the 26th. Chuck Thompson, Jim Ward, Tracy West, Priscilla Relier, Donna Esminger, Courtney Farber, Nicole Griffin, Michaela Lynn Tiffany, Jessica Nolan, Shell Brown, and Devin Quinlan. National Put the Pen to Paper Day. It is National Letter to an Elder Day today. I love that. Weather. We're looking at mild today, 36, scattered snow showers tonight, cloudy skies, a little bit of snow later, 21. Tomorrow, a messy morning commute. We're looking at snow mixing in with rain at times during the afternoon, 39 tomorrow. 1 to 3 inches is what they're saying at this point. And a little bit of snow for the 25th annual Freezing Fun for Families winter softball tournament. On Friday is when it gets started. Snow showers early, sunshine later, lower 30s. Not bad softball weather. And then weekend, at this point, it looks like it's still going to be kind of mild. 40 on Saturday, snow showers, and colder on Sunday. So we're going to go from 40 on Saturday to about 16 on Sunday. Is this the January thaw? At the end of February? I don't know. I think so. Gosh, lots to get to this morning. Facebook question of the day. A state senator in South Carolina has introduced a bill aimed at protecting children from the harmful effects of secondhand smoke. And this one has stirred it up a little bit. It would prohibit smoking in vehicles when a child under the age of 12 is present. So obviously, I'm asking you, what say you about this? It's the Facebook question of the day, and it's up there right now. Sports, college hoop, March Madness, starting up with Selection Sunday, March 16th on CBS. We got 68 teams that are going to be playing this year in the men's tournament alone. First four going to be March 18th. How exciting. It's coming fast. Daily Dose of Feel Good this morning. This 9-year-old kid in Staten Island, John Michael Pasquale, had a stroke, almost died. 17 months later, he just returned to school. Happened on Monday. Got a very, very big welcome. All of the kids and the teachers lined the hallway and cheered him on. I've got the video. If you need a little dose of feel-good this morning, it's right there on the page. Vermont and regional headlines from CAX, PTZ, Digger. Yeah, I'm watching all of them. Barrie City Council voted unanimously last night in favor of a new Department of Public Works garage. The city manager, Nicholas Storelli Castro, texted me this morning saying, I'm grateful for the council's unanimous support to purchase a new public works garage. A new public works garage has been on the to-do list for years, and last night we took the first step towards a cost-effective solution. I look forward to the next step of the process, which will be a hearing in front of the Barrie Town Planning Commission on March 19th. What I'm looking forward to the most after last night is showing up at the garage this morning to tell the guys the good news. They deserve so much better. Wow. Love it. 3 arrested in Burlington after guns, ammo stolen from a Colchester home. We've got these stories up on the page this morning. Mediations are underway at the as the prison protest continues in New York. What a mess. Meanwhile, the New York Senate shut down an attempt to repeal the HALT Act. We have all of these stories. The story on the Vermont mother whose toddler brought a bag of cocaine to daycare. We have that story as well. That's the first time I think I've heard that one. The fugitive from Florida arrested in South Burlington, a long rap sheet of serious crimes. Police got him during a traffic stop. So much for hiding out in the hills of Vermont, right? And the West Rutland teacher busted for DUI. Those stories, among others, on the AirDot page this morning. 1 million federal workers in national headlines responded to the email from Musk requesting an accounting of their work last week. 1 million. Whew. The House GOP passed their budget resolution. We have 40% of contracts canceled by DOGE, expected to produce no savings. All of these stories are up on Aired Out this morning if you want to read more details. Speaking of details, there's new details in the suspect accused of fatally stabbing 4 Idaho college students in Chicago. We have that Southwest plane that aborted a landing to avoid a collision with a private jet that entered the runway without authorization. Somebody may not have a pilot's license anymore. 124 confirmed measles cases in Texas. And, of course, you probably saw this yesterday on your phone. Denny's and several other restaurant chains are now adding egg surcharges. Surprised? I'm not. Jo-Ann Fabrics struggling in a major way recently. They're now thrown in the towel. All 600 stores are going to be closing. The company will shut down after 82 years in business. Unbelievable. Brian Gallagher, who is the president and general manager and just does everything for the Vermont Mountaineers, is with us this morning. I am so glad you're in here, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, JD. Appreciate you having us on board, and I know you remember those early days when we started this whole thing. So.
I do, man. And it's like, but I was startled when you just told me that this has been going on. The Mountaineers have been in existence for 23 years, and I remember the beginning with you.
Yeah, no, it's been a good run. The community has wrapped its arms around the Mountaineers and Central Vermont in particular, and the sponsors, the host families, the volunteers, have just come out to support us for many years, and the fans. So it's been a good run, and we're looking forward to another good season. We're new roster coming in. We have a new coaching staff this year. Our former coach got, as they all do, they're trying to climb the ladder. He had some good success with us, and now he's at a school where he can't coach in the summer anymore because he's full-time recruiting for them. So it's all good, and we're looking forward to another season.
Tell us a little bit more about Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin's our new coach. He's a former pro player. He went to Stetson University down in Florida, which is a big baseball school. Was drafted. He's an assistant coach for our former Mountaineer manager for many years, Joe Brown, who won a championship for us in 2015. He actually, after 9/11, went into the military and became a military intelligence anti-terrorism guy, and he retired as a lieutenant colonel there. So he moved his way up. Coaching baseball now in Cortland is his retirement gig, and he just enjoys coming up. He's going to bring a military background, run a tight ship, as well as good background in baseball, and he was a pitcher, so he'll work well with the pitching staff. So
obviously, I have many questions for you: season passes and tickets, and what's new this year, and we're going to get to all of it. But man, you just said to me off the air a little while ago, yeah, when we started this whole thing 23 years ago, I had a little bit more hair on my head. You're one of the busiest guys that I know. Busy people are successful people. What do you do outside of the Mountaineers?
The other job, which I enjoy, I go to work every day and enjoy, is I teach at Montpelier High School. So It's been a great run. I've been there for a long time, and
What's a long time?
Hate to even say it, but 33 years. So I've been in the district 33 years. I've been at the high school since 2006. So it's been a great run. I enjoy going to work every day. Students keep me young and active, and between that and doing the baseball after school and all summer, that certainly is another fun gig. So
wow,
it's been a good run.
So here we are 23 years later, and now the second best league in the country.
Yeah, the NECBL has really grown over the years. The Cape League will always probably be number one. They've been around 100+ years. But we're right there with them. We've had 235 players make it to Major League Baseball through this league. since 1994. So that's a pretty good number, and that's just to the big leagues. That doesn't say anything about the thousands that have made it to pro baseball. So, it's been a fun thing, and in Montpelier we've had 24 players make it to the major leagues just in our short time.
I was just going to ask you that. Really?
It's been
You keeping tabs on these guys and how they're doing?
We do. I don't follow them as much as I used to, just because there's getting to be so many of them now, and you lose track trying to keep track of everything locally. But we certainly enjoyed the success they have. In fact, a guy that played for us back in 2004, who was a major leaguer, now just got hired as a major league coach. So that's our first guy to make it up into the coaching ranks for the Marlins, which is going to be pretty exciting this year. So,
isn't that amazing? Hey, 6 New England states is what NECBL is.
Yeah, there's 13 teams.
Or 13 teams.
And we're in every New England. We're in all 6 New England states. You're right. Correct. It's in every state. We've got 2 in Vermont, 1 in New Hampshire, 1 in Maine, and the rest are in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. So it's a pretty spread out league. One's in Martha's Vineyard. We have to take a ferry ride over and back.
Wow.
Makes for a
Boys
long
don't
day.
Mind that. They don't mind that.
No, they don't mind the ride. It's for us, we do it as a 3-day road trip. We'll go play in Newport, Rhode Island, and Martha's Vineyard, and we'll do other stops along the way and then come back to Vermont. So they take first-class charter buses down, and that's a league requirement. And then we put them up in hotels. They play their games, and then they'll come back to Vermont. So we kind of have that home series as well as the away. So
I just heard you say the M word, Maine.
Yes.
Swamp Bats. Biggest rivalry for the Mountaineers?
The Keene Swamp Bats in New Hampshire, they used to be our biggest rival because they're about 2.5 hours away. But now we like to think it's the Upper Valley Nighthawks down in, they're right in state. They're an hour down 89. And we certainly enjoy beating them. We have this Governor's Cup, this milk jug, which we started when they came in the league, and we've won it the last 3 years, knock on wood. We hope to continue to win that. And so that's probably our biggest in-state rival. And then we get into Keene, and Sanford, Maine is definitely a big one. They're a big rival as well. In fact, they had a great team last year. They made it to the championship round and lost in a heartbreaking fashion to Newport, which is also a team we like to beat. We've had them in the league for many years. So,
is there a team that Brian Gallagher is maybe I don't want to say nervous, but maybe nervous about this coming season?
It's every team does such a good job recruiting now. So I never take anybody lightly. I think that they all do a good job, but you always look at those teams that always seem to have a good reputation, like Newport, Keene. Upper Valley always plays us very hard. In fact, I always joke that they'll give up 5 game losses in a row to put their best guy up against us when we play us, trying to beat us that one game.
Wow.
And we don't. We keep our rotation the same, and we play them. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we still hopefully win 4 out of 5 games that week. So,
my gosh.
But we definitely like to beat Upper Valley. We like to beat Newport, Keene, Newport, Rhode Island. Always been a big rivalry. We faced them in the finals 3 times, or 4 times actually, and we've beat them twice. They beat us twice. So that's always a good rivalry there. So,
man, it's like when it starts warming up just a tiny little bit. You guys get. I'm guessing you got the buzz now.
Yeah, spring training started, and at this point we look outside the window here in Barrie, and the sun's out, and there's some water on the sidewalk. I don't see any snowbanks, so yes, water, except when it comes in a rain delay. We don't like that too much, right?
So when is the roster is complete?
Yes.
When is the season officially going to start out?
June 3rd is our first game down at Martha's Vineyard, and we go down in Martha's Vineyard in Newport the first 2 days, have a day off, and then we're home on June 6th for our home opener.
June 6th, home opener.
Yes.
Obviously, if you get on themountaineers.com.
Yeah, the VermontMountaineers.com will have everything from baseball camps to sponsorship packages to the roster and all the information on the team.
All right. I want to ask you about sponsorship opportunities.
Sure.
There are many businesses that once they get their banner on that fence, They don't want to take it off.
No, we've had a great run of sponsorship. And again, the sponsorship is a big part of what we do. If we don't have that, we can't pay the bus bills and the umpire bills and everything else that comes out. But
Sure.
So we've had a lot of sponsors been on board since 23 full years, and many that came on recently that don't want to give up that spot. Once you get that billboard, a 6x12 billboard on your outfield fence,
Right.
not many places in Vermont you can have a big advertisement like that.
Sure,
And,
sure.
People don't like to give it up. We rarely have turnover there. We do have a couple of spots this year. I think it's been a tough year for some businesses, but
Yeah.
we do have a couple banners left if anybody wants to call me, and the information's on the website on how to get a hold of me. And we do have a couple of game nights
Game
as
night
well.
sponsors? All
Yeah,
right.
throughout the first pitch, set up a table display, PA announcements, advertisement, all that stuff goes along with it. And again, without the sponsorship packages, the Mountaineers wouldn't be in operation. And as a nonprofit 501c3, we're really dependent on that. So
We have the Vermont Coyotes, the VT Coyotes, that are tuned in this morning, watching and listening to you. This is a really exciting time for some big-time sports right here in our backyard.
yeah, it is fun, and I certainly like to watch when the Frosties were here, many
Yeah.
years ago, and to have the Mountaineers and the Frosties, now the Coyotes back in the same neighborhood. It's kind of exciting to see,
Wow.
and being a person that likes basketball, I look forward to welcoming them to the community as well. So.
How can I want to ask you about season passes, but how can folks who are, for whatever reason, unfortunately not able to get out to the ballpark, they want to see a show, they're following the Mountaineers, maybe they're away, maybe whatever, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
it's ESPN Plus.
Yeah, we've been fortunate as the number 2 league in the whole country now, just behind the Cape, and the number 1 highest ranked baseball team in summer baseball in Vermont. We get a lot of attention, and the league is going to have probably 200 games broadcast this year. We're going to have about 50% of our home games broadcast and many of our away games. So ESPN Plus is picking up that. We've got 4 cameras of theirs down at the ballpark, and every game, even if it's not on ESPN, has 4 camera angles, and we broadcast that on the website. So good chance for people to follow us home and away, and every game in the league is on the air.
And what about Huddle?
That is actually the ones that pick up the broadcast that ESPN doesn't. So
I
anytime
see. Yep.
they don't compete too much, but whenever ESPN wants a game, they get it, and the rest go on to the league website.
Sure.
So that's through the Huddle system.
I want to ask you about volunteering.
Sure.
I also want to ask you if you need camera operators.
Definitely do. Camera operators, we like to have 4 cameras all the time, and we like to train about 10 to 12 people to do that, so that when somebody wants to take a night off, it's a pretty smooth transition. And we have somebody that is there every night running the operation board. As you know, that's a tricky thing with 4 cameras. You got to kind of make sure that's going the way that ESPN wants it, and the graphics, we have that covered. We have our broadcaster coming from Penn State. And we certainly have always a need for volunteers. Volunteers are the backbone of the organization for game nights, parking folks, tickets, concessions. We always need volunteers, and there's a place to reach out for us on the website. Host families.
Yeah.
We always need host families. Right now we've got about 37 out of the 40 players placed, which is amazing this time of year. So we're down to the last few host families, and they get a lot of perks. They get season tickets, and kids go to baseball camp for free, and just fun to be part of the organization and follow these guys as they go on to bigger and better things. A lot of these host families, will follow these guys and go check out their major league debut when they make it. It's pretty
All
fun.
right, so it's host families at the VermontMountaineers.com. We need 3 more.
3
right?
more beds, yeah.
right.
We certainly we always take extra names and stuff just in case something opens up during the year.
And we should say these guys are really serious about what they do. They are held to very high standards. So if you host one of these guys, it's not like they're going to be stumbling in at 2:00 in the morning.
No.
They're just not these type of guys.
Yeah, most of these guys are on scholarship at their college, and their whole thing is like to get out there and prove themselves and get scouted and go to the next level. So they take it seriously. If they do get home at 2:00 in the morning, it's usually because we're playing down in Rhode Island, and we got to drive back, and they get off the bus at 2 in the morning. But they got their own cars. They don't have to transport them. They got their own cell phones. They're pretty independent, and we feed them a lot of the time for home and away. So it's a fun gig for families.
So 10 to 11 weeks or so from June through August is...
Yeah, our end of typically if we finish about the 12th of August, if we make it all the way to the finals, which is our goal every year, and we could get done at the very early first week of August if we don't, but hopefully that's the cases we play on through.
You do so much for these guys. You just mentioned you got to feed a whole team too. I can only imagine where I want to obviously transition into volunteering, how essential it is, because I can only imagine what the budget is.
Yeah, we have to deal with about $300,000 in budget every year, and some of that is ticket money and souvenir sales and concessions, but there's a lot of it through sponsorship and fundraising as well. And we have a good team too. We have a board of 12 people that work year round, 12 months of the year. We're doing committee meetings. I go down to the league meetings every other month in person. It's a year-round operation, and it has to be. We've got a lot of people that really do the big part of the work in the off season as well as game nights. So,
all right. Any more opportunities for volunteering that you can think of?
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's quite a few.
There's a lot. Everything that you can think of at the ballpark from, we have a music person that's up there, but occasionally they need a night off. So training somebody to do the PA, somebody to do the music and the sound effects in between batters.
Sure.
Parking, concessions, tickets, the whole 9 yards, working in the souvenir booth. So there's a lot of chances for people to come down. And again, without the volunteers and the host families, we wouldn't have an operation. So we really need people to come out and check in with us.
There is absolutely nothing better than getting over to the ballpark, recreation field in Montpelier, right there on Route 12, on a summer night, grab a cold drink, sit down, maybe a hot dog, some ice cream, get with the family, and just sit back and relax and watch a local game. What I love about going is that there's constant engagement. There's constant movement. There's no lag time. You are always being entertained either with your eyes or your ears.
Right. Yeah, it's fun. The on-field games, Kevin does a great job with the on-field games, and the mascot does an incredible job. He's rollerblading behind the Cody Chevrolet car. We got the Skipmobile, which is an old 1969 Volkswagen that's made into an old dune buggy, and we have it road registered. And it's always fun, and there's always activity. And like you said, the kids are there. They're getting autographs from the players. They're chasing down foul balls to keep, and it's just a fun family environment for multi-generational of people. So
I want to talk about some of your theme nights, because you guys bring in, frankly, everyone. That's anyone in our community, from the scouts to area businesses, volunteer, just nonprofits, and they always throw out the first pitch, and you guys really do such a great job shining the spotlight on them.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it, JD. No, we try to. We have every night the 50-50 goes to a different nonprofit.
Wow.
So that money, goes right back into the community. The Mountaineers don't keep any of that. It goes right back into the little leagues, the food bank, whatever happens to be the charity of the night, and that's a big thing. Each night we've got a sponsor throwing out a first pitch. Most nights we have themes going on, like we'll have the Little League night, we'll have the free buzz cut night, which you can see it's getting a little long on the side. I might need to get it shaved off again, but it's always fun stuff, and it's kind of like typical minor league baseball, where you've got something fun going on for everybody every night. That's the intent. So
now, when you say buzz cut, does it Does it have to be a buzz?
It's one of those deals where I'm not sure people are down there looking for a little bit off the sides. They get the barber down there, and they take care of business real quickly. So as you can see from my haircut, they've been there a few times.
That's right.
Don't need to have a lot of work done on the side. So
I want to make sure you're getting everything that you got out on the airways, because there's so many of us that just love the Vermont Mountaineers, man.
No, we appreciate that, and again, the support we've had over the years from the community makes this all possible, and it makes it fun to really get excited about doing it every year, just to kind of see what it looks like. Because February is not the most fun. We're out fundraising. But
that's why you're in here, man.
Yeah, but once we get to the summer and it's June and July, to go down to the ballpark and kind of look around and see fireworks and all kinds of fun stuff happening at the park, and giving these players and coaches a chance to work their way up, and then following them as they move on to bigger and better things down the road, and watch them on TV. It's just a pretty cool thing. So
if you're just joining us, president and general manager of the Vermont Mountaineers right here in central Vermont, when we hear the name Brian Gallagher, that's what we think of. We think of the Vermont Mountaineers. And when I hear the words Vermont Mountaineers, I'm thinking of warmer weather, man, because I just love it, man. I got to tell you, I think it was 2 summers ago when my little girl was starting to play softball and baseball. And I've never really followed baseball. Enjoyed going out for the experience of it, but to finally sit, and I've said this on the air before, to finally sit down and pay attention to what's going on and anticipating, well, if this happens, then what's that guy going to do? What's this? How could this scenario play out?
Right.
And if you're really able to focus on that, what a fascinating game. You could chew all your fingernails off.
Yeah, it's exciting baseball, and the coaches like to play a little small ball. They'll steal bases, they'll do a hit and run. So there's always something happening, and it really is. Close to the action down there. It's not like, I love going to Fenway, obviously, going to a major league game, but it costs so much money to do that. Down here it's local, it's inexpensive. The whole family can come out for a really cheap price. And you can watch these guys before they make it to Fenway. And it's
close.
just up close. You talk to them, you get to know them, you see them for the summer.
Yeah.
The kids follow them. They collect their baseball cards. They get autographs. It's just,
yes.
You don't even have to be a baseball fan. It's all about the community. So, again, it's a community activity. It's hard to remember back in the day when the Mountaineers weren't here. Thunder Road is great, and that's one night a week. But the Mountaineers will be home 3 or 4 nights a week, so you got more opportunities in the summer to kind of do that, and go out and have fun with the families.
Your promotion is massive. When you guys are going to have a game,
right,
your signs, your lawn signs are everywhere. Game this Tuesday night, game Saturday night. It's like anyone who's driving down the road anywhere in central Vermont is going to see those signs.
Yeah, I think that's one of our better things. And when we need host families, those little signs go up. Host families needed, volunteers needed, and I think that does help us. And people see the number over and over again. I think they're going to hopefully come down and see what's going on, see what the excitement's about. So
you mentioned the kids get to these players are approachable. They get to sign autographs for the kids. Sometimes it's a baseball or a hat or whatever, but also baseball cards. And you gave me a few here. This is really cool. Look at this, shrink wrapped and everything right here. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's nice. The kid we print those, and we give them out at the ballpark. And again, it's fun because the players like them, the kids like them, they collect them, they get them signed, and many of these guys move on to big leagues. We've had 2 first-round draft picks. We've had guys that have won World Series like A.J. Pollock. He's been an all-star. He's now retired, but he's coaching now. And again, it's like pretty cool that these guys kind of remember their roots too. Like, we'll keep in touch with them. They'll get in the program. We'll send them copies of the programs every year. We send them a text message when they have a great game. And again, it's a good thing they remember where they kind of their roots were. So
can they do they come back ever and catch a game?
We've had some guys like Rob Delaney came back a couple years ago, retired from baseball, came back. He signed photos and met the fans and came out through a first pitch out. We've had some great promotions over the years, and as more of these guys do retire, we'll bring them back, and I think they just enjoy it. They come back many years later and kind of like, hey, this was a fun summer,
Yeah. Tell me about some of the championships that the Mountaineers have won.
Sure. Yeah. We've got some memorable ones. We've won in 2006, 2007, back-to-back years. We one in 2015, and we've been runners-up 3 different occasions, 2005, 9, and boy, there's one more, I believe, but I think it was just about a few years ago, 2023, I believe. So, it's like you work so hard with 13 teams to try to get there. It's tough to win it, and it's tough to get there, but that's our goal every year. We want to try to do as well as we can. So.
Yeah. Let's talk about Skip, and of course Kevin Clark, who is I don't know what Kevin's title is, but MC whatever. He is outstanding.
Yeah, he does a good job running those on-field games with the mic and getting some different games in there and keeping the kids excited. And it's good to have him on board. And he's been there for a number of years. And we have so many other volunteers. I hate to even mention about one by name because it's like as soon as you mention one, there's 15, 20 more that I should be. So, but every part of that organization, to get people in there, and if they're there every night, that's great. If they're there 6 games, it's great. We try to rotate people in and out so people don't get burned out on it.
Sure.
And, but no, it's a fun thing to be a part of, and we always look for more people that want to kind of join the Mountaineer family.
Yeah. I love the fact that, like you said, the on-field games, there's constant, and in baseball, let's be honest, there's a good number of pauses.
Sure.
But you've got constant entertainment going on. I mean, the second that you need it, there's an on-field game going on with kids that are pulled out of the stands there. It's so much fun.
It is fun. It's a good thing to be a part of. Another team in Central Vermont I have to give a plug to is the Montpelier boys basketball team that's won 4 straight championships, and I know they're going for the 5th here next week, and we hope that they get to Barry Odd. But that's been a fun team to watch over the last 6 years. They lost one by a point at the buzzer at the Odd, and then they've won 4 straight, 19-1 this year, and I'm looking forward to going to their games later this week to see how they do. But it's having those kids in school, and it's fun to watch them. And I know the Montpelier Nordic team just won their first ever state championship yesterday, which, again, congrats to them. So
wow. The level of intensity in our local high school sports is really impressive. I mean, remember the pitcher, I can't think of it might have been U32, who was so good. Right. And didn't he go down to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Owen Kellington. He pitched at U32, and he's with the Pirates organization now. And again, he kind of grew up at the field. He was in baseball camps with us back in the day, and he goes down there even now in the off season and throws. When his team is done, he's down there with his dad throwing baseballs and pitching. And so we hope he does well. And again, it's a long process to get from high school ball up to the major leagues, but you have to go through about 6 levels, and you just keep climbing the ladder until hopefully you make it. So
coming out of high school, if you want to be part of NECBL, you got to go to college, and you're held to a high standard of having some pretty decent grades.
Yeah. The thing with the NECBL is a college level league, and some leagues I know do allow high school players to play in them. I know the Lake Monsters with the Futures League does that. The Major League Baseball has asked us in the Cape to not do that, and we're really focused on getting those top-tier college players that are going to be draft prospects. And we always try to get a Vermonter in there, too, because we want a kid that's, if he's capable of playing, and the kids from Vermont, we want to give them the first shot. Like, we would have given Owen a shot to play here, but, again, he had to have gone to UConn, which was his other option, either UConn or go to the draft. He went and got drafted at a high level and then went on to pro ball, which was a smart move, I think, because when you get drafted in the 6th round, I think it was, you get a little signing bonus and make your way up a little bit quicker than some of those guys that are getting drafted in the 25th round, for example. So
that was big news right here in our backyard.
He's a good player.
God. So we go NECBL. Next stop would be the minor leagues.
Yes, the Cape and the NECBL. Typically, when you get drafted, any league, you'll get drafted. You'll go on to minor league baseball, and then short season A, long season A, eventually double A, triple A, and then the big leagues. So you do have to climb that ladder. And some players, the first round guys that we had got a quick trip up to the big leagues. They're in the minor leagues for maybe 2 years, 3 years, and
what's
then right
that,
up.
Pawtucket?
Yeah, so triple A was it used to be the Paw Sox. Now it's in Worcester, the Worcester Sox or Worcester. So they're. But again, that's something that Yeah, that's their goal. Many of these kids will make it. Some of them won't, but they're at that level where they're really giving it their best shot. So.
And has a Mountaineer made it to the majors?
Yeah, we've had 26 or 7 guys make it to the major leagues.
All right, those are the ones you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and several more, obviously hundreds more that have made it to pro ball that just didn't get there. They may have gotten to double or triple A and had the end of their line at that point. But, what's pretty cool, though, is we've had one broadcaster make it to the major leagues. Our first guy in 2003, Tim Haggerty, made it up with the Royals. And we have, 3 other players that were former players make it to the front office, at a major league club, in one level or the other, so it is pretty exciting to see not only the players make it, but some of these guys make it when their playing career is over. They go into the front office or they go into coaching world and make it there. And we have many former Mountaineer players that are coaching college baseball now, which for me, it's nice because I can call them up and they know who we are. And they're like, yeah, we'll send you a couple of our best players. And they know what they're getting into. So that helps.
It's incredible. So. The Vermont Mountaineers.com is the page to learn about sponsorship opportunities. All the packages are right there. Season passes?
Yep, everything should be there. All our social media site links should be there as well. And just a little history on the team as well as what the local news is about what we're doing. So.
All right.
So.
Anything else that you've got right there that you want to make sure that the message is put out?
No, I just want to encourage people to go to the website, and if you're a potential sponsor and you want to hop on board, all the contact information, the materials are there. You can give us a call at 802-272-8728 and or reach out by email, and I'd be happy to set up a time to meet with you, and we'll look forward to starting the season on June 6th in Montpelier. I hope everybody comes out for the big celebration. So
we will be hammering that here on the air. We're so excited. I got to tell you, man, I know how busy you are. The fact that you are taking some time out to come in here and chat up Mountaineers is really special to me, and I appreciate your time so much.
No, thanks for asking me, JD. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Community calendar this morning brought to you by The World, Central Vermont's favorite weekly newspaper, reaching over 22,000 people every week. By the way, you flip through the pages, you're going to see the words Vermont Mountaineers all over the world. Don't miss the digital version online at vt-world.com. School vacation stick and puck this week at the BOR from 12:30 to 3. Every day it's been going on. Helmets and gloves required. I looked for my hockey helmet, couldn't find it. Tuesdays, we've got the Tuesday night dinner at the Barrie American Legion. It is coming up Tuesday. And, of course, they also have their American Legion Post-10 all-veterans dinner on Thursday at 5:30. All veterans welcome. All veterans eat free. Just call the post ahead, 479-9058. Let them know that you're coming. They do such a great job over there at the Barrie American Legion Post-10. Saturday, freezing fun for families. We were talking about it earlier this morning, the Winter Co-Ed Softball Tournament, 25th year. Incredible. Friday it starts. Wraps up Sunday. A little bit of snow in the forecast, as we said, but Barrytown Recreation Fields, at the very least, come on out and be a spectator there on Websterville Road at the Barrytown Rec Fields. But the teams are registered for the most part and ready to go. Raising a lot of money for Vermont families battling pediatric cancer and having fun in the snow at the same time. We're almost at $1 million. Unbelievable. The recipients this year, little kids, little Levi, Alistair, Carla, Eleanor, Elisha, and Nico. And until there's a cure, there is freezing fun for families. It's going to be amazing. I hope to see you there. I just can't wait. 20th, Wilkins Harley-Davidson Chili Cook-Off is also coming up Saturday, and at the Legion Post-10 Saturday, March 1st. Wow. Downtown Dan is going to be playing. March 30th, don't forget the Brittany Burt Memorial Bingo fundraiser. So much going on in our community. We love talking about it. We love promoting it. Thanks again to Brian Gallagher of the Vermont Mountaineers, President, General Manager. Appreciate him so much for coming in here this morning. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks to our presenting sponsors. Thanks to our supporting sponsors. Thanks to you for watching, listening, on the go. AirDownVT.com. Have a great day, everybody.